So,
Where
on,
everybody at?
They're all talking to David.
they're all talking
Oh,
So on second and third watch, how that throw that Joe made to you on that touchdown, how much more amazing does it look when you kind of see it, from the all 22 angle and just, you know, after the fact.
yeah, just him threatening the needle, just him trusting in the throw, trusting in me to be where I was supposed to be, even though it seemed like to the I guess you would say untrained eye like it was a bad decision, but obviously it wasn't. He had enough faith and trust in his arm, and what we practiced to understand that it would be a successful play, and I would be where I was supposed to be. So it looked truly amazing on film, as well as in person.
Amari, how's your connection kind of grown with Joe over these 3 games?
Yeah, I mean, every quarterback is a little bit different in terms of their timing and everything like that. So I would say with each week, I'm learning him more, picking up on his time and how he likes to throw certain routes. So I would say we're growing for sure.
When you look at the Texans secondary, what challenges that you guys just in presenting to you?
Yeah, I mean, just their defense as a whole. They're pretty sound. They have a good D line. They have good DBs, and they play hard. Um, they're playing good football right now. So definitely it will present a challenge to us. But as long as we stay ahead of the chains, as long as we execute, we'll be fine.
Amari, how have you seen David and Joe grow since you've been here?
I mean, David has always been the same. I mean, he's the kind of teammate that binds everybody together. I would say, in terms of his ability, he's always been a fast player, especially in terms of him being a tight end. So it's always been a mismatch for guys guarding him in that respect. But also, other than his speed, he has good hands, good understanding of the game. And one thing about David is, he's forever learning. Getting better at the things that he feel like he needs to get better at. So I would say that's what's most impressive about him is his willingness to learn year in and year out.
I mean, you just mentioned he's the kind of teammate that binds people together. We've heard people talk about how good of a teammate he is. What is it that he brings as a teammate, I guess? Like, is there anything specific?
I would say his energy. It's hard to explain. I guess the best way I would explain it is we're here together every day. Some days are good days for an individual. Some days are not. I think he can kind of pick up and sense, when a guy is down, a guy may be going through something, and he has that ability to uplift that guy and talk to him when they need to be talked to. So I would say that's a thing for sure.
So you have another 1,000-yard season within your reach. It's not unusual for you, but you realize no big wide receivers are back-to-back 1,000.
Yeah, I heard.
Sounds like should have happened over the last 50 years. Surprise you?
Yeah, it is kind of surprising a little bit, but at the same time, it's not. Things happen throughout the course of the season. Obviously there have been a lot of guys, who played here who definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, has had the ability to, go back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. But extenuating circumstances happen. Guys get injured and whatnot. So it's definitely something I don't take for granted. Just to come out here every day and be able to grind, be able to, be consistent for my teammates and for the group.
We've asked you a lot about quarterbacks this year, and especially with Joe coming in here. But it feels like on the outside looking in that he's, added an unquantifiable element to the locker room outside of just the physical ability that he brings. Can you sense that? And can you, I guess, articulate that as far as those intangibles
Yeah,
that he's injected into this locker room?
yeah, no, 100%. I think the best way to probably describe it is he's like a faith multiplier. Um, it's like when he came in, guys was like, it's like a weight lifted off of our shoulders. Like, this is the guy. We trust in him. For whatever reason. Because a lot of guys, they know of Joe, but they haven't seen him play every game. It's just, his credentials. Super Bowl winner. Consistent quarterback. Throws a great ball. Has a great understanding of the game. Um, so yeah, I think that's what draws everybody to him.
Amari, chance this weekend to clinch a playoff berth, given everything this team's been through this year, injury-wise and otherwise, just how much of a relief and how big would it be for you guys to check that box as one of the goals that you want to accomplish this season?
Yeah, obviously, making the playoffs, that's pretty much the first goal of every team. Just to be able to get there, you worry about the gravy, so to speak, after you actually make the playoffs. So yeah, I mean, it'll be a great feeling, and then we will just go from there. Sure.
Mark, when you talk about the back-to-back 1,000-yard receive, with the Browns, you've had a bunch on your career. So how important is that? Is consistency to you that you're doing it year in year out?
Yeah, it's very important. Like I said before, just to be consistent, just to be reliable, just to be available. It means a lot to me. Being able to play through whatever circumstance and still be able to, do my job. It definitely means a lot that I'm able to do that and help the team.
So has the arrival of Flacco kind of invigorated you as a recipient of some of those cannon strikes?
Yeah, I would be lying if I said it didn't, because he throws such an easy ball to catch. So yeah, I mean, receivers. If you ask any receiver, they love a very catchable ball.
Is it the accuracy or the tight spiral?
Obviously, it's the accuracy, but it's not necessarily a tight spiral. I would more so say velocity and trajectory of the ball. The ball has a little less velocity, but because he's on time with the throw, it doesn't feel. It's not a late throw. It's still on time, but it's just easy to catch. Receivers, even though they shouldn't, we all like to think about the yards after the catch. And sometimes we neglect actually the catch point. That's how a lot of receivers drop balls. But, it seems like, with a quarterback like Joe, you can kind of get away with that because you don't really have to think about catching the ball because it's such an easy grab.
Did that touchdown one come in with a lot of velocity?
No, so it might have looked like it. But that's the thing. Even his straight line balls, they don't come in with a lot of velocity, but they're on time. So it was an easy grab.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Mark.
how I feel right now. But no, I do feel a lot better. I mean, Monday morning was very difficult for me to get out of bed and make it, just those backs, you never know. But I'm feeling a lot better now, and hopefully that continues to progress.
Did you see an acupuncturist?
I have not seen an acupuncturist. I have there's some other things that we do, but I have not seen an acupuncturist.
Is this something you've been playing with and through, or is it just something that popped up on you?
It popped up. It hasn't bothered me this year. I have in the past had some. You play football in the NFL for a decade. You have some back issues, But not this year. I haven't dealt with it. It kind of just popped up Sunday, honestly, and so that's one of those ones that you try and play through an ankle or a shoulder or a knee, but when you can't really get in your stance, it's hard to go out there and play.
Joel, it seems like it was more of like a muscle spasm type of thing than any kind of a structural disc issue. Is that correct?
Yeah, we won't get into a bit of the nitty gritty, but yeah, we're feeling a lot better, and to me personally, I think it's more muscle spasm issues, and hopefully you can correct those as the week goes on.
Understand what's ahead for the injury standpoint, but also so wanting to be out there for your teammates, but also understand you don't want to do damage that could maybe be worse or prolonged as you try to make a run.
Yeah, it is something you think about, but for us, every game's really a playoff game for us. We're trying to win as many as we can. So for me, if I can play, I'm gonna be out there and trying to help the team. But that's something that the training staff and the coaching staff can think about. But for us, I think if you're healthy and you can help the team, and you're not gonna truly damage yourself, I think most guys want to be out there.
I thought you kind of shake out your knee a little bit. I mean, it did seem like was it also involved in this?
I don't think so. I think what I was doing was, at least for me, when my back locks up, lifting my legs and moving my legs helps try and loosen it up. So I was trying to get some movement back in there and just trying to feel where I was at. But so from that perspective, there wasn't any correlation, I don't think.
Joel, I remember Thomas telling me that the toughest thing you ever played through, I think you finished the season with the back spasms and you could barely move. I don't know how he did. If you tried to pick his brain about how he was able to get through that?
I haven't talked to him yet, but I do remember him telling me about that early in my career. He texted me the other day about my beard, said it was looking good, so maybe I can correlate that into a question about his back, you know what I mean? So, but no, I do remember him talking about that, and like we said, backs, it's one of those ones that you never truly know how it's going to react.
I guess for you, because you take so much pride in being out there every snap, at what point did you, how hard was it for you to actually just take a knee there and say, hey, I need somebody to come look at me?
Yeah, when I realized they called the play, and I was like, I'm going to have to pull on this play to the outside, and I was like, I don't even think I can get in my stance right now. And so at that point I was like, I'm going to hurt the team by being out here, and I might not even be able to get out of my stance. So that was kind of the moment I was like, all right, I have a lot of faith in Dunn. He does a lot of work for us, and he's going to go out there and compete and be ready to go. We'll see what I can do on the sideline if it's going to loosen up at all. But I knew Dunn. I had told Dunn, because it kind of happened in pregame a little bit. I had told Dunn to be ready, and he was ready always to come in battle.
Did you you were frozen? Did you have to tell Jaron to, hey, let's stop this play?
Well, Jaron was kind of the one. He's like, Joel, if you can't go, take a knee. And then I was just like, all right, I'm going to do that. But yeah, I mean, if you have back stuff, when it locks up pretty good.
So is it hard to believe that Wyatt Turner was the only original starting offensive lineman still standing at the end of that game?
Yeah, it's something you don't want to happen. But Wyatt's been strong for us this year. He's been the guy that's been out there for us, and we've had far too many injuries. It's one of those unlucky stats for us. But looking back at the game, when you have one starter left, it's usually not good. But those guys fought. The guys that come in for us and who've been starting, James, Jerron, Dunny, Nick Harris, those guys are ready to battle too, and they've done such a good job. But Wyatt's really, he was the last one out there, so he's kind of last man standing.
Josie, I'm sorry, Karis. Looking to the Texans game, what does this defense present you guys? You have two kind of combat
Yeah, they're playing really well. I think their front four is kind of the strength of their team, and they rotate. I guess they're kind of similar to us. Like they let the front four go. They're athletic. They're powerful guys. They rush the passer well, and it kind of lets their back end, play a little bit more aggressively and stuff. But they do a good job. It's kind of the same cut as like the San Fran defense. 4 down. Get up the field, but I think it starts. I think all 4 of their starting guys have at least 5 sacks, a bunch of pressures, and they make things happen. And they're not just pass rushers because they've done a pretty good job against the run as well.
When you look at the run game, I know you weren't in there a bunch, but like just how much can you attribute the struggles to 4 guys that haven't played much yet?
It's part of it for sure. You want to have your 5 guys out there. You want to have Nick Chubb out there, but it's the details. Like coaches stress the details this week, and you watch the film, and it's like one guy here or one guy there, where it's like, man, that could have been a big hit. That could have been a big hit. We had just a little miscommunication, and I think that does come with playing with each other and understanding and communication. But we see the opportunities there. The opportunities are still there, and if teams want to try and stop the run, then I think we have Joe Flacco and those guys ready to pass the ball if we need to.
Joel, how weird is it with this little stretch here? You got Christmas Eve game, then you got 3 days later, you got the Christmas holiday between, and you're kind of just hoping to just focus on this, and then after that, you got to take a breather.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the. I mean, Thursday late in the season's tough to turn around anyway, and then it's Christmas week, so it's a little bit different. We're really focused on Houston right now, and then we know we got to come in and work, the Christmas and in the next few days. But it's kind of like that. Whenever this week started, that 10-day stretch, and get through that and see where we're at and kind of refocus from there.
So in your years, do you find it easier to be on the road on Christmas than at home? I mean, more of a business trip atmosphere?
It is more business trip. We played at Green Bay on Christmas. I think Christmas Eve this year, obviously. The hardest part is the kids. Like my kids, I want to be there with them on Christmas Eve. But hopefully I get home and I can, see them Christmas morning. But I think the team will be focused, on the game. And we understand it's our job to play football. We're blessed to play football, so we're not complaining about it. But there's gives and takes. If you're home, you're kind of with your family a little more.
I think of New Orleans coming in last year and winning. And
Yeah.
It's like, we're going there, we might as well win as long as we're going, right?
Yeah, I think there's something to that. Guys are focused on the trip, and there's possibly less distractions when you travel. It's part of the game, though. But, yeah, it's something. Hopefully, we can be the team that gets a win this week and head home, on Christmas Eve. Thanks, guys. I think it's getting really close to me, by the way. Sorry.
Said you would have been a full participant yesterday. I don't know if you practiced fully today, but like, is the shoulder back to being 100%?
It's getting there. Yeah, it's getting there. Feeling good, so yeah, I'm good.
Did you feel any limitations in that Chicago game?
It was fine. It was all right. Like I said, it's getting better. I'm out there playing with my guys. I'm just glad to be back, glad to be out there and trying to get a win each week. Yeah.
Yesterday you talked about maybe still feeling like you guys as a cornerback unit maybe don't get all the credit you deserve. I guess you feel that way too. You guys are maybe still underrated a little bit as a group.
Yeah, I definitely feel that we're underrated, but I mean, I feel if you look at the numbers and the stats, numbers don't lie. You see that we're top in the league at a lot of stats and a lot of things in man-to-man and just coverage-wise. So I think we're definitely underrated, but I mean, we're just going out there to keep being the best we can for our team to help us get a win each week.
As you watch the tape back of the Hail Mary at the end of the game, I'm sure in real time it was a little more nerve-wracking, but just how did you guys kind of respond and react the second time around having to kind of relive that?
Oh man, that was the longest play ever. So I was just glad that ball, seen D-Bill end up picking that ball off, and we got the win. So, but there's little things that we could do better to not even let it get in the hands of the guy. But guys did good and making a play and getting the win.
So you were here with Case Keenum for a couple of years. It looks like he's going to start for them. So, like, how does it help that you have that familiarity and just what stands out about him as a quarterback?
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely familiar with how he likes. Good quarterback, able to get the ball to his guys and make the throws needed and get an offense moving.
Denzel, you guys defensively, just and the numbers back it up, you just seem to play much better at home than on the road. So the fact that you got to finish 2 or 3 on the road, if you do make the playoffs, you're probably going to have to play on the road.
Yep.
You're gonna need, how do you guys turn this around on the road so that you play like you do at home?
Yeah, that's a challenge for us this week. We know that we definitely have played better at home, but that's a challenge we were willing to take on this week and trying to find a way to get a win on the road. And I think we were able to do that and go out there and execute that. Just got to start fast and finish.
Do you have any idea why there's such a disparity there? Like when you're in the meeting rooms in the gym or your position coaches and you're breaking down film and stuff like that, are there things that you're seeing in those games that you can tangibly say, hey, we need to fix this, and this, or is it just more of an attitude and approach?
Yeah, I think it could be a number of things, but I think one of the biggest things is we got to start fast, and then finish the games.
Denzel, back to Keenum. His arm strength compared to C.J. Stroud is obviously different. Think and dump. So do you guys play tighter with him? Do you play tighter on your man?
We're just going right. Regardless of who's going to be a quarterback, we're going to do what we do, whether that's man, whether that's zone. It doesn't matter who's back there at quarterback. We're going to do what we do.
Denzel, some of these, grading sites that are out there, I know sometimes it's arbitrary, but you guys are graded out as, I think like the top 5 corners in the game. Greg and MJ, just how much pride do you guys take in how effective you guys have been as kind of a whole unit this year, especially versus last year when there was some sort of miscommunication issues and things at times?
Yeah, I think we take a lot of pride in it. I mean, since the beginning of the season, you've been hearing us talk about how we want to be the best in the world, and I think we've been consistent in showing that we're the best corners out there and the best defense out there, and we're just trying to continue to show that, continue to execute plays out there and lock our guys down and make plays for this team and find a way to get a win. So we take a lot of pride in it, to answer your question.
It sounded like yesterday Nico Collins was back for them, and a receiver that big that has as many yards as he does this year, the kind of challenge that does, what does it do for their passing game that you guys kind of have to be aware of?
Yeah, that's a big plus for their passing game. He's a big receiver, capable of making the catches, so that's a plus for them. And so I think we're up for the challenge and looking forward to the matchup.
How cool is it to be in almost Christmas and know that the playoffs are possible, know that these are all big games you're playing, and you can even clinch it this weekend?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, that's the goal in making it to the playoffs and getting to that next level. But I think the focus has always been on the week at hand. So got to focus on this week, find a way to get a win, and everything at the end of the year take care of itself. And we keep doing what we're supposed to do.
There's been so many injuries this year. Yourself bouncing in and out of lineups, 2 starting safeties, whatever. Why has because a lot of players talk about you guys don't change what you do, regardless of who's on the field. You stick with the scheme and whatnot. Why has that been so effective? Because obviously it's different players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why has that been so effective and really worked so well for you guys, despite guys bouncing in and out of the lineup?
Yeah, I think it's a testament, one, to AB and those guys and getting the right guys in here, able to just plug in and play and execute their assignment, and Coach Schwartz and just the scheme he has in place. And then the guys that's here, I mean, guys are able to come in and play regardless of who's in there. The goal is for level of play not to drop who's ever in there. So we take a lot of pride in that, and guys been doing that, going out there making plays regardless of who's in, and we're going to continue to do that.
Regarding the shoulder injury, just how do you balance wanting to come back and play and help this team kind of get to that finish line and clinch the playoff berth, while also trying not to, I guess, play it too early or too soon. There might be more damage that could be prolonged.
Yeah. These guys been doing a great job of kind of holding me back a little bit. So I mean, as you seen last week, I kind of got some plays, and then they took me out a little bit. So I mean, I'm just trying to do as much as I can for this team to help them get a win and do my part. So I mean, when I'm out there, I'm going as hard as I can, and then I mean, at the end of the year, take care of itself. So just trying to stay out there for my guys and make plays. Thank you.